What's going on, everybody? Welcome to G-Miles World Podcast, and we're going to be talking about Sunday Night Football with the Chargers and the Steelers. Now, if you guys fell asleep, I was dozing off because I thought it was going to be a blowout, you know what I'm saying? But then I woke up, I was like, yo, what's going on right now? You know what I'm saying? But I was able to see all the key points, dog. You know what I'm saying? I was able to see the Desmond King, punt return for a score. I was able to see all that stuff that started happening in the second half. But this is the situation, right? I'm going to tell you this about the Steelers. This is the reason why I don't trust the Steelers. And it's not even about the fact that every time they go and they play the actual, they play, Tom Brady and the Patriots, that they lose. It's just the fact that they're very inconsistent. But they have an extremely large amount of talent on the team. And to be honest, even with Le'Veon Bell, I don't think it would matter with them playing the Patriots because Tom Brady just has their number. But we'll talk about that later, and the fact that James Conner is out. They're saying it's a leg contusion or something like that, but we have to see exactly what's going to be going on with that because now the rushing, the remaining running backs on the Steelers right now, let me just tell you their names: Jalen Samuels, Stephen Ridley, and Ryan Switzer. Now nobody wants those guys, not even themselves. Like if they were in charge to put themselves in the game, they wouldn't put themselves in the game. But that's all the Steelers are going to have left. So what we're going to talk about is pretty much the fact that in the first half they didn't have any answer for Antonio Brown. All right, now Antonio Brown is a premier receiver, stuff like that. Everything that sounds good, but what happens is when you take him out of the game, Juju Smith-Schuster, these other guys are going to have to beat you. But you have to remember, Le'Veon Bell was more than just a running back, and I understand that James Conner was like a dual threat also, but he was not. He's not Le'Veon Bell, so he's going to drop passes, he's going to fumble, he's going to do weird things that Le'Veon Bell more than likely wouldn't have been doing. So you're going to start to reflect now on the fact that it just didn't work out at all for the Steelers. It started off very, very well. You know what I'm saying, bro? Everything was good. James Conner coming out, doing his thing. But now when it comes down to being close to January, and now you lose this game, and then the Ravens are like streaking right now, like they're at a college, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they streaking like they at college, dog, like at an Ivy League school in the middle of the night. And then you're losing games. You can't, bro, listen. This is the way it always comes down. The teams that start to lose late, around December, those are the teams that stumble into the playoffs. It never works out well for them. It just never works out well. And I want to talk about the Chargers because Melvin Gordon being hurt, I really thought that was going to just destroy them. And it does. It shows throughout the game that his loss is huge because Melvin Gordon is a serious, serious running back in this league. That young man, bro, I don't know what it was. When he first got into the league, I didn't really feel the way I feel about him now. But watching him over the last couple of years, I'm really starting to like this guy. So I'm going to tell you this right now. When he got hurt, I was like, yo, what is this about? You know what I'm saying? Now they got a rookie running back, Justin Jackson, 63 yards and a TD. And I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? People got to step up, but it's easier said than done. And Phillip Rivers, they showed a still. They showed art, with Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, and Eli Manning. They showed that Ben and Eli has 2 Super Bowls and Phillip, he has none and stuff like that. I want to tell you something, man. This dude has to be the most unlucky quarterback ever, Phillip Rivers. The dude has 19 children or whatever he's doing, so God bless him. But he has to be one of the most unlucky quarterbacks ever to play the game because I know a lot of us remember the losses that he took. I believe they took one to the Jets, right? When LaDainian Tomlinson was on the sideline with his big jacket, bro, just sitting there talking about he had a knee injury. It's just a lot of awkward things that have happened to him that have prevented him from getting the Super Bowl. But it wasn't like they weren't in championship games and things like that. It just didn't work out for him. Eli, we all know, that man is one of the luckiest. Bro, that dude right there, bro, when I tell you that he's lucky, that dude, somebody loves that guy. Somebody's watching over him every step he... Bro, the dude beat Tom Brady twice. So you can't say it was... I don't know if I could say it's lucky. You did it twice, though. Bro, how did he do that? He needs to be in the Hall of Fame just because of that. Because, usually your luck runs out. When something happens one time, everybody can say it's lucky. When you do it twice, it doesn't, the odds don't really stack up because people don't, luck is like a mental thing. You see what I'm saying? People could say it's luck, whatever, and then sometimes we as humans will say, yo, that was pretty lucky, but that was genuinely a lucky situation. This dude, Eli Manning, bro, every time I think about his 2 rings, I'm like, yo, this guy right here. But anyway, when you look at Phillip Rivers and you look at the things he's been able to do, he's been able to throw for many, many yards, just like Ben Roethlisberger. He's been able to do all these things, awkward throwing motion and all, be a sustainable quarterback in this league for a very, very long time. And it just seems crazy that he loses his starting running back. You know what I'm saying? To say, like, just think about it like this. You see how Big Ben didn't have Le'Veon Bell? This guy's running around with a rookie, bro. Justin Jackson. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger has a much better receiving core. Like, Keenan Allen is a decent guy. You know, he came out 14 receptions, 148 yards. But I would prefer Julio Jones. And if I can't get Julio Jones, you know, I'm going to probably, who am I? Not, maybe Tyreek Hill. Like, Keenan Allen is just not, he's not a guy that I would put way up there. But the thing about the Chargers is they know how to deal with what they have. And they're able to, you know, successfully utilize that. And we got to see it on a big stage because a lot of people don't believe the Chargers are going to make any noise in the playoffs. Like, some of you guys watching this podcast right now or listening to it on the go, you're probably like, the Chargers are pretty good, but they're probably not going to do nothing in the playoffs. If Melvin Gordon is able to come back and they can have a decent run game, you're going to be very surprised about what the Chargers can do. I'm being very, very honest about it. Watching them play, it's very easy to see that their talent, they can compete with any team in the league. And watching the Raiders score all those points against the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday, that lets me know that with this offense, they can also score points. They're defensively, they're just going to have to be able to, you know, slow down Tyreek Hill and them boys. Because you got to remember, they lost their starting running back as well in Kareem Hunt. And now they're looking to try to get other players or whatever to, you know, they got to strengthen up their backfield because as much as you want to pass the ball and it's a passing league and the league has made it easier for the ball to be thrown down the field, you still need a run game. I don't care, bro. I don't care what any of you guys say, bro. You have to have a suitable run game. Just look at Todd Gurley and the Rams. That's why that team is so dangerous because Todd Gurley is so good. Jared Goff has come into his own. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, McVay has been doing his job because Jeff Fisher had that boy looking like a bust. But when you look at that aspect of the NFL football game, as much as they've put into the, you know, into the league for, you know, passing and everything like that, if you got a good run game, bro, look, bro, hey, it's going to be on and popping. I'm telling you right now. So James Conner being out for the Steelers, they don't look, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Mike Tomlin, we try to ignore the fact that he's done things in the past that kind of deserved a firing. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, and then when you look at the way the team is built, it doesn't make any sense. The teams that they're losing to, you know, like I said, look, the NFL is like this. You get that head coaching job, everything that goes wrong, you're responsible for it. It's point blank. It's period. It is what it is. That's all I can say about it. Like, there's no mercy in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So when you analyze it along those lines, bro, this guy Tomlin, bro, like he's been doing a lot of weird things with this roster, dog. Like he's been underachieving, in my opinion, because that team, and then not only that, we already know what Ben Roethlisberger is going to do after they lose, right? When the season's over, he's going to contemplate retirement for 75 hours and start making drama queen statements and stuff like that. It's very, very frustrating. I don't know. Maybe, I don't want to say that he hasn't done things and the team doesn't play for him because the team seems to respond up until this point. I just don't understand a lot of the other things that are going into the preparation because the second half, the Chargers completely dominated them and there was nothing he could do. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what you rely on your head coach to be able to do. Like Bill Belichick, okay, you're doing all this. We got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to, you know, to adjust. And that's what they weren't able to do. So when we analyze everything, I've learned a lot of things after last night's game. I was able to see, again, the Chargers are not somebody that's just going to go away. And not only that, the Steelers look like they're ready to just walk away. That's what I got from it. I didn't really see anything else about it that made me say, oh, yeah, bro, the Steelers can probably go somewhere in the play. Like, you can't lose this game. You just can't. And it's no excuse about it. Like, you just cannot lose the game. And that's it. And this falls, you know, you saw what happened to Mike McCarthy. Listen, Steelers don't really fire their coaches. So that's like a plus for Mike Tomlin. But at some point, they're going to have to figure out what they're doing, especially if they get beat in the first round of the playoffs. That might trigger a firing instantly for Mike Tomlin. I just don't know who you replace him with right now. Maybe a very, very young coach like McVay with the Rams. I don't know. Maybe, but he's already very, very young. He's like the youngest coach to win Super Bowls. I don't know what's going on with that. But ultimately, I did not see a comeback, you know, happening, and the Chargers were able to pull it out. I'm very, very excited to see how the NFL playoff picture is starting to unfold, and I'm pretty sure you guys and girls are as well. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you realize that I'm on Spotify and iHeartRadio, so you don't have to watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on the go. G Mize World Podcast. Until next time, one love.